Some talk about adding another muzzleloader season. You got any thoughts on that?
I do. I think I'm the first governor in many generations that loves to hunt. And I take more than a passing interest in these questions. There's a proposal that's had several hearings to have Vermont institute a muzzle loading season in October. It'll be the first time in my lifetime that you could actually go into the woods in October with firearms and shoot deer. I think that's an extraordinarily bad idea. I communicated that to my Commissioner of Fish and Wildlife. I'm incredibly grateful to him, Pat Berry, for having discussed it with the board, and I'm delighted that the board voted unanimously last night to agree that that is not in the best interests of Vermont's hunters.
Because there are tourists out at that time, is that what you mean?
Well, no, it has nothing to do with tourists, to tell you the truth. It has to do with, those of us that hunt understand that opening day has always been one of the most exciting days of the year for us. That might seem work to you, but it is to us. And number two, that it's the first time that you go into the woods, you always have the best luck on the first weekend because the deer aren't spooked. We departed from that. I think we did the right thing in starting several years ago a weekend youth hunting day or two that allowed young hunters to go into the woods with guns and hunt deer prior to opening day. But that's the only exception to that, and I think it should be the only exception to that. The reason that we get so excited about opening weekend is that we know that the buck aren't spooked, and therefore we have a good chance of harvesting one the first weekend.
You're not spooked by the bow hunters?
Well, bow hunters don't make a lot of noise. Frankly, rifle hunters, we do. So deer are smart. White-tailed deer are super smart.
But this, I think,
deer are smarter than the rest.
the biologists were behind this proposal, and they're the experts. And you're sort of saying you'd like to overrule them.
Well, I think that they've done great work, the biologists, and I don't want to second guess them. I'm just telling you how I feel as governor, and I feel passionately about hunting. And I don't want muzzle loaders or anyone else shooting deer in October in Vermont.
And that position is informed purely by how you think it might affect your chances of getting a buck on opening day.
I'd like to broaden the spectrum to everybody else that's out there with a
But
firearm.
that's what it's about, chances on opening day.
Every once in a while, emotions get to you as governor, and this one got to me.
Were you able to hunt
It
last?
would be the equivalent to someone saying to you, Peter, if you were most excited about Christmas, that we're gonna do it early. And you're not gonna get to open your presents.
Were you able to hunt this last fall?
Yeah, I did, but not as much as I wanted to, but next year we'll be out there, but I was out. In fact, I was up in the Kingdom. I went out with a couple of kids. It was a lot of fun. And I went up, did a little hunting there, and then when I came out of the woods, there was a text on my phone from my brother who proudly announced that he shot a buck on my stand while I was up in the Kingdom.
Did you get one?
He did, yeah, I did. He got mine.
Do you have a deer camp?
My house.
You talked about telecommunications, broadband, and so forth, and the big piece of that is obviously Fairpoint. Do you support the effort by Senator Luzzi to reduce the penalties, sort of free them up from rate regulation, or the time-consuming rate regulation where they have to go to the board to set new prices? Do you support that?
What I support about Senator Luzzi's approach is a willingness to look at all the assumptions that we have right now and figure out how we can do better to deliver on cell service and broadband to every last mile. It's going to require us to get some towers up more quickly than we have been. I think he has a lot of great ideas. My own view is that we're going to work together with the providers to get a lot of the things that we need, and we're going to have to listen to some of the things that they feel they need to have a more thoughtful system. But I wouldn't commit to his bill or his approach yet. I think that's premature.
Do the two teen tragedies this week inform you at all about need for either a better system response or the need for any legislation?
You know, I am as upset and shaken as any Vermonters, and obviously my hearts go out to the families of the kids that we've lost. I should tell you that one of those kids is the daughter of my electrician and the niece of my plumber, and a great kid, and this stuff, it's hard. I think what it requires is for someone in my position to ask the question, instead of legislation, of how I can work more actively with my team to have an honest discussion with adolescents across Vermont about suicide, and how we make sure as adults that we have systems in place so that tragedies like this don't happen.
Do you know her?
Her family is a great family, and they've all worked with my real estate company, and I know her dad very well, Terry.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.